Hey, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, then my name is Erica, and today I am going to talk a bit about what I perceive to be cliques or alliances on YouTube. And now, before I get into what I really want to say, I just want to give a disclaimer that I am in no way trying to cancel any of the YouTubers that I'm talking about. I'm not saying they're bad people or that they shouldn't have a career. I am simply gathering information that I've personally found and giving and analyzing it and giving my commentary on it. And please do not send hate to any of the creators discussed. Of course, you can still critique them. I do think there's a difference between critique and hate, and I actually have a podcast on that, which I will link down below if you would like to listen to that. But I'm just gonna jump right into this. So one of the first cliques or alliances, I'm probably gonna keep using the word clique because alliance is obviously a very difficult word for me to say. Howls are sounds that trigger my stutter, so I try to avoid them at all costs. So yeah, one of the first cliques that I have noticed on YouTube was back during Ramageddon 1. Now, if you don't know what that is totally fine because it's not super relevant to this video, but I'll give a quick little Spark Notes version, if you will, of it. So basically, it happened on beauty YouTube because a lot of the major scandals and dramas happen on that side of YouTube for whatever reason. I don't know, because I feel like makeup and beauty shouldn't cause a lot of drama, but for some reason it does. But so the key players in this whole big feud or scandal are Jeffree Star, Gabriel Zamora, Manny MUA, and Lee. And what happened was basically all of those YouTubers were friends, or at least they presented as friends to Jeffree Star. And now, if you don't know who Jeffree Star is, good on you, because I would love to not know who he is. He is an extremely problematic beauty YouTuber, and he owns the company Jeffree Star Cosmetics. He has said some terrible things to people and just been disgusting. So yeah. And what happened was, apparently the other people, Lee, Gabriel Zamora, and Manny MUA, they kind of separated themselves from Jeffree Star, and to this day nobody seems to know what happened there. But anyway, so they all took a picture together, and Gabriel Zamora posted a caption that kind of shaded Jeffree Star, and they were like sticking up their middle fingers. So for some reason that caused a lot of scandal in the beauty community, and so when people saw that, they went digging through everybody's tweets, and they reposted offensive things that these people tweeted, which I think it's wrong that these people tweeted these things. I think a lot of what, like, Lee in particular, what she said was offensive and disgusting, but I think people were trying to cancel all of these people for the wrong reasons. They were trying to cancel them for not being friends with Jeffree Star instead of for the offensive things they actually said, in my personal opinion, which is wrong, because I think saying offensive things is worse than not being friends with someone. But anyway, that's not super relevant to this video. But so they were the first real alliance on YouTube, because what they basically did was they all collectively took their platforms and they kind of fused them together. Sorry, I was trying to think of a word. My mind was like, what were they trying to do? But they kind of fused their platforms together and used all of their influence to kind of go against Jeffree Star. And that's one of the first ones that I can think of in this case. And I'm saying it like it's a true crime case, and it is not. But anyway, I digress. And the next big clique I will be talking about is in the commentary side of YouTube. This, I'm going to try to name as many key players as I can. I don't know everybody involved in this clique, but these are the people that I know of. Dustin Dailey, Nick Snider, and Petty Paige. And what happened here was I think it was back in 2019, but there were videos made about it in 2020, but I'm assuming because of everything going on in the world, I hope this wasn't actually happening in 2020. But if it was, feel free to correct me down below. But so YouTuber Smoky Glow, who is like a commentary / beauty channel, she did a collaboration with other commentary YouTuber Angelica Oles, and that whole thing fell through because people were very upset with Angelica Oles for some very offensive and dismissive things she said towards marginalized communities. So Smoking Glow ended up like deleting that collab and making a statement on why she can no longer support or endorse Angelica Oles, which, I mean, some people think she went about that situation wrong. I personally don't know, because I feel like Smoky Glow was between a rock and a hard place in that situation, because she's always stood up for social justice. So if you're collabing with someone who is harming the causes you're passionate about. It's like, what are you supposed to do? So she deleted the whole lot. And this is kind of gonna go on a little wild ride here, because to me it doesn't make sense how all these things connect, but somehow they do. So Nick Snider, who is a commentary YouTuber, he invited Smokey Glow to his like commentary YouTube Christmas party, and so Smokey Glow was going to go because she had another event in that same area, so she was like gonna be there anyway. So she's like, yeah, I'll go. It'll be fun to meet up with all of these people. But then one of Nick Snider's friends, Rich Lux, was being called out for some extremely problematic behavior, and so Smokey Glow decided she didn't want to go to the party if Rich Lux was going to be there, because she just thought he was not a very good person and she didn't really want to associate with him or be near him. So she like made a statement about how she would not be attending this Christmas party, and apparently, and this is where the drama started, which I kind of find it to be very heady stuff, but I mean, to these people, it's a big deal, so yeah. But, so Smokey Glow released a statement about not going before she talked to Nick Snider and told him that he wasn't, that she wasn't going to attend his party. So I guess that offended Nick Snider, because he felt she should have came to him before announcing it. And I kind of understand that, but also I think it's extremely, like, I'm not gonna try to invalidate people's feelings, but I feel like the way this whole situation blew up is just like, I feel like it didn't need to be that deep, but it was for them, so yeah.
Smokey and I weren't friends, colleagues, whatever. I invited her to my holiday party because it was nice. I was like, everybody loves her. Everyone wanted to meet her, so I'm going to invite her. I didn't really know much about her at the time, but I still invited her. And she was like, yes, we're thinking about coming. I think it's her and her fiance now. And they were thinking about coming, whatever. Now, I was raised correctly that if somebody invites you to a party, even if you're not going to go, like if you're sitting there saying that you're going to go, whatever, which I was under the impression that there was a very high possibility that she would come, you still would tell that person, like, hey, thank you so much for the invite, but I'm not going to be able to make it. That's just common decency. That is courtesy. That is what that is. Instead, I had to find out that Hannah was not going to come to my holiday party because she felt scared. She felt like it was going to wrap her up in drama, and she doesn't really care for the people that were going to be at that party to begin with. So it was a total embarrassment to me, because you're basically making it seem like you're scared to put this video out, which, by the way, is extremely rude, to go to a platform of over 100,000 people before you tell the person that you're not going to their party. That's rude and that's shady, in my opinion. Now, when this drama went down, a lot of people were like, she doesn't have to tell you anything. You're an idiot.
But then, so Nick Snider, Dustin Dailey, and Petty Paige, and probably some other people that I don't know of, they all kind of ganged up on Smokey Glow and were talking bad about her on the internet and saying how she was a snake and a bad friend for not going to this party, and I just feel like it was very mean and just stupid what they did here. Like, we're all adults, and we should all act like adults and not try to gang up on one person just because you feel they stabbed you in the back. But anyway, then that's just one aspect of this clique, because I have also seen in recent situations where if one person tries to call out one member of that clique, they all like gather around and start defending that person and going in on the person speaking out against them. And this is where I want to give some of my analysis to why these cliques are so toxic on YouTube. Sorry if I'm looking down at my notes, it's so I don't forget what I wanted to say. But I kind of feel like it creates echo chambers, and by that I mean they're all surrounding themselves with people that think exactly like they do, and if you speak out against them at all, they're going to go at you with all they have, even if it's over something kind of minor like you not going to their Christmas party. And also, I feel like it makes people afraid to his scent, because you're scared that if you call out or like critique one member of the community, like the entire community is gonna come at you like an angry mob, you know, like in cartoons when they have the pitchforks and the torches and they're all like running after you. Like, it can be very intimidating in my opinion. And I believe it creates a very toxic environment ruled by fear, because you're scared to misstep, because then you know this big group of people is gonna go in on you, especially when the group is comprised of creators that have much bigger platforms than you, that are a lot more well known on YouTube. It's almost like you feel like if you go against these bigger YouTubers as a small YouTuber, your career is just gonna end in one fell swoop. And while this video is not about me, I don't want to make it about me, but here's where I'm going to add a bit of my personal experience with this. And I'm going to try to tread lightly, because I don't want to create drama. I don't want to talk bad about people, but it might have been a few weeks ago now. I don't. My concept of time is awful. But I think it was a few weeks ago now, I made a video about a certain creator. And then this creator and a group of their friends cursed me out on Twitter. They dragged me to one side of Twitter to the other, whether it was warranted or not, because I think there were points where I was in the wrong. But having a big group of your friends curse me out say F you this, and trying to dismiss everything my channel is about. And my channel is primarily about commentary and, more importantly, disability, because I am a visibly disabled woman. I actually have multiple disabilities. I don't talk about all of them on here just because I feel like having one disability makes your life hard enough, especially when it's visible and it's the first thing people see about you. But anyway, I digress. But this creator's friends were basically telling me, like, my whole message about disability is now like void because I made a misstep. And I think that's wrong. I don't think somebody's entire message and their purpose should be cancelled if they make a mistake or if they go at someone too hard, because I believe that's a form of tone policing, especially when it comes to somebody's identity. And yeah, so, and the reason I'm giving my personal experience on this is to show you that, like, it's scary when a bunch of people are ganging up on you. And it reminds me of, like, middle school and high school. You know, when you were, like, sitting alone at the cafeteria table and you felt like everybody was looking at you and thinking negative things about you, and maybe you were one of the people that was in the crowd, and so maybe you see it from more of that perspective. But it just reminds me of that very toxic environment, like a bunch of packs of wolves going after each other, and I don't think it's healthy, because here's the thing. I think if somebody makes a good point, like you, well, forget I said that. I think if people are having an argument, like say your best friend is having an argument about something, as long as it doesn't turn nasty, as long as it doesn't get personal or physical or anything like that, you shouldn't really then start butting in with 5 of your other friends to go at one person, because that's not exactly a fair fight. And also, it's just not good, because it's like it doesn't solve anything to intimidate somebody out of speaking. Like, if you don't like someone, you don't just like say mean things to them until they go away. Like, I feel like you should, like, if there's something that bothers you, you should say that and have an open dialogue, but in open dialogue that's not like 5 against 1, if that makes sense. And to be clear here, I'm not saying you can't agree with someone, or even that you can't voice your agreement, because that's not what I'm saying, and that's not what I want to be taken away from this. But when your friends are going in on someone for disagreeing with you, and they're cursing you out, and they're trying to basically scare you out of shutting up, it just creates a very toxic environment. It intimidates people. It makes the internet a place that is ruled by fear, which I don't think fear is the best way to get your point across. You know, like, if you want something you shouldn't, and this is a very extreme example, so I don't know if this is the right example, but right now this is what's hopping into my head. But if you threaten someone into getting them to like agree with you or stop doing what they're doing, then you're not really making your point. You're just scaring people into conceding, and I don't think that's the best way to go about things. It's not the best way to go about disagreements over things. And I think that's all I really wanted to say today. If you liked this video or if you learned something, sorry about my dog. One second. So as I was saying before my dogs started yelling at the mailman, I really hope they're not going to yell again, but it might, and it just happened now. But if you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and if you have not already and you would like to see more of my content, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye, and I got to say it without my dogs barking again. Bye.